Good morning. This is John Marling, Pulse Research. Let's begin. I'm really excited to do the webinar this morning because it's some really great news. One of our clients had their best month in over 3 years, specifically Trib Total Media, Matt Miller, CRO. And he was going to do the webinar this morning, but unfortunately, some things came up and he wasn't able to. So, putting our heads together, we thought I would do a kickoff this morning kind of sharing with you how we created an environment for positive change. And then Matt on January 7th will follow up with he and Bill Cotter, the execution, how they specifically had their best month in over 3 years. I personally did the launch, and like other papers, Matt faced the same challenges that you face every single day. Quickly, without belaboring the point, obviously the revenue challenge, declining revenue quarter after quarter, year after year. The second thing that I'm sure is, appropriate, consistent with your publications, you've got many ad reps who are more comfortable selling one-time ads. Matt wanted to change that. And in many instances, the legacy sales model isn't working. It's a whole new world. And he wanted to take a look at changing the sales culture and specifically the sales model. Many publications, you've got a lot of ad rep churn, some new members on your team. How do you get them up to speed and effective quickly? And then obviously we're all facing the challenge. I make a lot of four-legged sales calls. Many times when I go out, first thing out of the mouth of the business is, well, I'm not interested. Print is dead. And then Matt wanted to also implement a consistent sales process. Because as I've traveled around the country, in many publications, it's pretty darn inconsistent in terms of a sales process. Let's take a quick look at the objectives when we launched the program back in early September. And by the way, October was his best month in 3 years. And he recently shared with me that November was also a record smashing month. These were the objectives, in creating that positive environment. Number one, change the sales culture. Number two, implement a consistent sales process. Number three, launch a simple sales plan with the team. Require, and I said require, a daily sales behavior. And then focus on not selling one-time ads, but selling a consistent long-term campaign. Number one on the list was changing the sales culture. It starts with focusing on the business. What are their needs? Making darn sure it's about and for them, what they expect, what they demand in terms of, from us, specific opportunities, solutions, how to help them get new customers and new revenue for this. That's the foundation. That's the focus. Too many ad reps are focusing on them and obviously their publication. Let me share with you, as I shared with the team there in Pittsburgh, a tale of two ad reps. It kind of tells the story. First of all, Susie, kind of a typical legacy ad rep. Hi, we've got a health and wellness special section coming up. Would you like to buy an ad? It's only $125, focusing on product and price. I've seen it many, many times out in the field, but unfortunately, the business says no thanks. And Susie says, well, why not? Well, I'm happy with Facebook and print is dead. The model on product, price, selling is not working anymore. Why? And the reason is really simple. Businesses think print is dead. They think their local newspaper doesn't reach their audience anymore. Now let's take a look at another ad rep, Patty. Hi, I've got some good news for you. There are 1,698 local households who plan to change or get a new dentist. Would you like to tell them why they should choose you? Well, obviously the business is interested. The local dentist is interested because they immediately sees and and focus on the 1,698 opportunities for their specific business category. So yes, they're interested. And now Patty says we have a health and wellness special section that will reach those 1,698 local households who plan to change or get a new dentist. Would you like to know more about their dental needs? You know, the number of households we reach, you know, who plan to, you know, get dentures, who plan to get teeth cleaning, et cetera. And the business is going to say, yes, absolutely, because now we're relating to their business. What's in it for them? The opportunity for their business. Very simple, but a major change in sales culture from product price to audience value opportunity selling. Obviously, the audience research, the number of households, in the example I just shared with you, plan to change or get a new dentist, is based upon the research that Pulse does. And thank you very much for, you know, promoting, you know, the Pulse of America shopping survey. But the information is the foundation of changing the sales culture from product price to audience value. We can't get to the audience value, how many potential customers, without the research. And obviously, there's ad reps who aren't quite comfortable, you know, with statistics, research. Here's what I shared with the Pittsburgh team, because I knew that to successfully change the culture from product price to audience value, they had to be absolutely comfortable with the information. So I shared with them a little story, if you will. I asked them a question. Do you reach households right now today who plan to change or get a new insurance agency in the next 12 months? And the team said, yeah, of course we do. And then I asked them in follow-up, how many households do you reach who plan to change or get a new insurance agency? And obviously they didn't know. And I asked them, would a business want to know? Would an insurance agency want to know how many households you reach who plan to change or get a new insurance agency? And they said, of course. Well, all Pulse does is simply ask the questions the business would ask. Would a business insurance agent ask if they did a survey, do you plan to change or get a new insurance? Of course they would. Would they ask, what are your insurance needs in the next 12 months? Do you plan to get new automotive insurance? Do you plan to get new homeowners insurance? Of course they would. And so all Pulse does is really simple. We just ask the questions the businesses would ask of a newspaper's print and digital audience. This is not market research, it's even better. It's information about your audience. And then Pulse, all Pulse does is just takes the percentage who plan to change or get a new insurance agency. And as you see in this example, we find out that it's 10%. And if the publication reaches 25,000 households, that means there's 2,000 households. That's the value audience opportunity. And so explaining, engaging the team members, the very simple, we just ask the questions the business would ask, what they want to know. We then get the percentage, and it's just simple math. Taking the percentage who plan to shop times, like it's an example, 10% plan to change and get an insurance agency times the number of households reached, that's 2,000. That's the value of the audience. That's the opportunity. And I would suggest you share this with your team. More than happy, by the way, to send you a copy of this presentation this morning. And my email is marling@paper.net. Okay? Here's a tip I've got. I've done over 2,000 four-legged sales calls. And this is one of the most important tips that I have. And I shared it with the Pittsburgh team, at the launch. Make darn sure in that initial engagement, either on the phone or in person, that they clearly understand it's their research. Well, what do I mean by that? When I go in and make it a four-legged sales call, or I'm picking up the phone and I'm talking to a realtor, I say, I've got good news. We just did a real estate survey. And they say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, we just asked the questions you would ask. If you did your own survey of the audience, of this, publication, would you ask? You plan to list a property in the next 12 months? Yeah, of course. You plan to buy a property? Yeah, of course I would ask that. Which real estate websites do you go to? Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Would you ask about that? Yeah, absolutely. And what happens is, and it's magical, they immediately understand it's their information. It's about and for them. Realtors obviously are really interested in real estate information. Obviously, a furniture store is interested in opportunity purchasing at a furniture store, what they plan to buy, living room furniture, bedroom furniture, etc. So in quick summary, and this is really, really important, if one of your team members is calling on the phone or in person, immediately make sure that that business understands the good news. You've got information about and for their business category. With a realtor, it's real estate information, etc. That makes all the difference in the world. Why? Because now they're extremely interested and they want to know more. As I mentioned a moment ago, in terms of our objective with the launch, creating the environment, the opportunity, is daily success habits. And what we focused on was simple, but very, very, very effective. And this is what Matt will cover in the execution. But the plan is 25 prospects per week using the Pulse tools, geoprospecting, opportunity prospect, audience buyer. It's really simple with the Pulse tools to identify 25 prospects per week. Out of the 25 prospects per week, Paul suggests and Matt required in terms of the sales process, the sales goals, is a minimum 15 teasers or flyers per week. That was 3x9, 3x9 RM. Matt kind of modified that to 3x5. But the bottom line is Matt executed 3 teasers or flyers by 5 p.m. each day. What does that do? That engages with the business and fills the pipeline with opportunity. And here's a quick example of the flyer that engages the business on a cold call. And an ad rep, by the way, don't take the excuse, well, I'm too busy, because they can create a flyer in under 60 seconds. And obviously they're already taking out, an information piece on a special section or an SMB package you got. It takes less than 60 seconds to create a teaser wrap that's got the opportunity, the value of audience. Once again, changing the culture from product price to opportunity of your audience. In this example here, almost 6,000 households plan to change and get a new insurance rate. That gets their attention. They want to know more. From the 15 teasers or flyers per week, based upon the actual results of clients across North America, your team members are each going to get a minimum of 3 businesses who say, I want to know more. What programs, what packages do you have to reach that opportunity? And so they will get at least 3 proposals. And here's an example of a very simple but effective one-page presentation. Once again, audience value opportunity. Let's find a solution together, what to advertise. But here's the key to it. How few customers they need out of your audience opportunity for a consistent 52-week program. Out of the 3 proposals each week, they're going to close a minimum of 1. In fact, Matt's over 50% close ratio. How? Using in your Pulse sales tools, the break-even calculator. Here's a quick example of it. Why is it effective? Because it gets the information. The business is engaged. They put in what the value of their customer is, their cost of goods sold, so that they determine, and this your ad team members can do this on a smartphone. And with the net value customer into your consistent 52-week campaign, it shows them how few customers they need. That takes away the fear, that takes away the risk, and this is one of the points that Matt set out to achieve. Instead of selling one-time ads and just literally chasing their tail, selling 52-week programs. Here's one of the secrets on how we were able to do that with this break-even calculator that gets the business involved, so they realize, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. Let's do it. They realize how few customers they need to pay for a consistent campaign. Let's take a quick look at the Pulse sales plan. Go to pulseresearch.com/plan. It's a little worksheet that we put together for you. Okay, so 15 presentations, or excuse me, engagement teasers or flyers. It's going to end up with at least 20%, which is 3 presentations. The 3 presentations per week will end up with at least one close per week. Assuming an average 52-week program of $100 a week, 5,200 over 52 weeks, that's $243,000 per team member. Let me repeat that. 15 teasers or flyers will end up per rep per week with 3 proposals with a 30% close ratio. Remember, Matt's doing over 50% with the closing tool. We'll get 1 close per week. That's on a $5,200, $100 a week, pretty typical SMB package, is $243,000 per ad rep. And let's say you've got on your team 6 ad reps, okay? That's $1.5 million in 2020. I was an ad director once. A simple plan like this works. Now let's take a quick look, or excuse me if I might here, we'll go back to, oops, look here. There we go. Here's what Matt had to say. And I strongly encourage you to attend his webinar. He's going to go over how he did it. He said, our advertising staff has traditionally been product and price focused. We sold too many small ads with minimal frequency to generated poor ROI. We made the decision to move to an audience value-based sales approach. We teamed up with Pulse to affect that. We're now engaging our customers with a defined sales process using the tools. And by the way, if you have Metro's Ad Wizard program, for no charge, we can put it right into your Pulse program. In just 3 months, we've seen a dramatic shift, changing the culture to audience value with targeted spec ads and selling long-term agreements. It's starting to show revenue. In fact, in the past month, which was October, was the best month in over 3 years. Yes, you absolutely can do it. I encourage you to, on January 7th at 11:30 Eastern, join the webinar that Matt will be hosting. He will share with you the execution, how he did it. And he's more than happy to answer your questions. If you get an invite to Matt's webinar, send Brian an email, nap@paper.net. In conclusion, I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule today to be with us. And Pulse will do everything we can to assist and support you, to help you make sure that 2020 is a spectacularly successful year. And yes, you absolutely can. On behalf of Pulse Research, I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to get together today. Thank you very much. Happy holidays and a happy new year.